I don't know why Coach Greg is posting my client's transformation on his page, promoting his own coaching.
Brandon Clark cares more about him being known as the coach for this transformation, of which he lost a significant amount of muscle, over the health and well-being of his client. Coach Greg, in today's video, what makes a great coach? I was scrolling through the internet, as I always do, for perhaps 4 or 5 hours a day, looking for videos, and I came across this man. He goes by the name Swole Seth, and he made an incredible transformation starting at 200 pounds and completing his diet weighing only 143 pounds, but bro was peeled. And so I posted this transformation as I wanted to show people that most people, they overbulk, they get too fat in the off season, and they have to lose way more weight than they think. And so you can see, as he starts off, he's not really looking all that bad. I asked several people, I said, what body fat do you think this guy is? And most people said he's around 20%. And so I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, and I'm going to say he's 25% body fat. I think most people have more fat than they actually think. And so in his before, at 25%, he's bordering on being obese. Now, I know he doesn't look bad. I know you're shocked in me saying this, but that is bordering on being obese, as in he's clearly overweight. And the title at the top, that's what I really liked about this post. And remember, Seth is in fact a coach, and so clearly he knows how to lose weight. And so if you're interested, you can hire him. It says, I just need to lose like 20 pounds and I'll be shredded. So many people think that. They show themselves in the off season. You know, he's doing the thing. He does appear to have wide shoulders and a small waist. And so he has a very good frame of which to build on. Upon looking at this photo, I was thinking, yeah, 20 pounds isn't going to cut it. I would probably expect him to have to lose 40. And you're thinking, how is that possible? Almost always, when people think of how many pounds they have to lose double what they're expecting. And so if you think 20 pounds would get you shredded, you probably need to lose 40. The after photo, 57 pounds skull face. And so he ended up losing 57 pounds. And so here's the sad part about this. Yes, he looks incredible in the after photo, but how could he not? He had great genetics, he had wide shoulders, a small waist, and so all he had to do to look good was to get lean. I mean, all you really need to do is be in a calorie deficit, and he's going to make this transformation. And so unfortunately, if you do the math, at 25% body fat, his fat-free mass is 150 pounds. It means if he had no fat in his body, it's 150 pounds. He competed at 143. Now, let's say he's 5% body fat in the after, of which he's probably a little bit higher, but let's give him 5%. That would mean he has 136 pounds of lean muscle. That means he's down 14 pounds of muscle. But remember, when you diet, you're going to lose some water weight. So let's call it 5 pounds of water. And so during that diet, he lost 9 pounds of pure muscle. And so does that make for a great coach? No. If you start off your diet in your off season and you end up shredded and you win, does that automatically mean you had excellent coaching? And so if you assume that just because you win, you had great coaches, well, this is the video that I'm trying to explain for you. If you lose 10 pounds of muscle while you're dieting, you didn't have great coaching. You had a calorie deficit diet. You perhaps over-dieted, overdid your cardio, dieted too fast or too quickly, or bulked too heavy in the off season. So many people think, no, you need to eat more food in the off season. You need to put on some weight. No, you don't. Anything past 15% body fat for men, if you're a competitor, it's a waste. All it's going to do is cause you to lose more muscle as you approach single-digit body fat. And so please don't make this mistake. It makes no sense. Why would people do that? And so if your coach tells you to bulk or to add in a surplus calories that you need to, and you're already over 15% body fat, get a second opinion. I don't care if you're a man or a woman. If you're a woman and you're over 25% body fat and the coach says you need to eat more, the coach doesn't know what he's doing. And remember, coaches are trying to make money, and they make more money when they can coach you year-round. Oh, it's off-season time? Hey, it's time to reverse diet. It's time to add in the calories. It's time to go up to an off-season weight. You need to get sloppy in the off-season a little bit in order to make some gains. No, you need to get to a healthy body fat percentage. You need to maintain, and then you're within striking distance of competing. I've been training for 40 years, and I've been coaching people for 30. I know a little bit about this. Next, You need to be concerned of whether the coach cares about you or himself. So case in point, we have this guy, Brandon Clark, who coaches people, and he writes, "Why is Greg using my client to promote his coaching?" Then he tags @Swole Seth.
I don't know why Coach Greg is posting my client's transformation on his page, promoting his own coaching, but nevertheless.
Brandon Clark cares more about him being known as the coach for this transformation, of which he lost a significant amount of muscle, of which he wants to take ownership of it. He wants to brag to the world that, hey, I'm the coach, look at me, over the health and well-being of his client.
The secret is that I don't actually look like this, at least not year-round. I only got this lean for competition.
Coaches, they can make 6 figures a month, if they brag about it enough, if they get enough followers and they tell you to hire them, and they'll get a lot of money and they can brag about it every single day. Remember, there's nothing wrong with trying to make money. You notice me trying to sell Turk Builder Max in every single one of my videos, my cookbook, my coaching, all of that stuff. And so there's nothing wrong with that. But if the coach cares more about themselves and making money than the client, that's when it's bad. And I'm not saying that Brandon is doing this, but some people do. The best example I'm going to use is in females. Do you know how many times coaches will say, I turned 100 females pro, or I've had 100 females win at the provincial championships, state championships, and so on. Right. And so what do? They show the before, where they make them look as bad as possible, and then the after, on stage, makeup, hair, everything. And they say, see, look what I did. And then you listen to the girl speak, and she now sounds like, "Go, David!" What they don't show is that she's shaving. And so these coaches show all the best before and after transformations, but they don't show the long and impactful side effects that they accrued. For example, after the show, they perhaps gained 50 pounds because they over-dieted them, they starved them, they hated the journey. And they said, if you want to win, you need to take more steroids than last time. You need to do drugs, you need to take every dangerous fat burner in the book, and you need to go on a starvation diet. And so they then win. How hard is it as a coach to tell a female, I want you to take Tren or take SARM's LGD 4033, up the dose of Anavar. Take more drugs. Oh, and cut your calories down to 1,000 calories a day. Do multiple hours. How hard is it for that athlete to then make an incredible transformation if they're on a shit ton of male hormones and they're in a calorie deficit? Of course they're going to make a transformation. Of course they're going to look significantly better on stage. But what about their voice? What about their journey? And so what coach is better? Coach A, they have 100 people that turn pro from abusing performance-enhancing drugs. These women, they lost their period. Perhaps half of them can no longer have babies. And they're shaving and have deeper voices. And what if I had to coach some of these athletes in secret to tell them to stop abusing the steroids, only to see them promote this before and after transformation, saying how amazing that they are? Do you know how many athletes I've coached from other coaches throughout my years who I get on the phone with them and I'm thinking, am I talking to a man? You see their photos every single day and you're thinking, wow, this woman looks incredible. And then they show you their photos and they're 50 pounds heavier in the off season. They haven't told anyone. They continue to post throwbacks. And so if a coach cares more about people knowing that they're the coach, remember when Coach Kyle, when I was doing videos on the Trend Twins and Coach Kyle kept getting angry, why aren't you saying that I'm their coach? It's not about you.
So I'll start by saying, I know you know exactly who I am. For many years now, you have consistently put out content and videos on many of my clients. Anthony Mantello, Jesse James West, James English, Alex Eubanks, and most recently, your obsessive behavior with the Trend Twins.
When I reshared this video, was it about the coach? Do you even think I knew who his coach was? For all I knew, he coached himself. He has coach in his bio. If a coach cares more about making money, about other people giving them credit for the work that the athlete did, then you have to be a little bit nervous about that coach. This athlete started at 200 pounds. Now, I'm not saying it's Brandon's fault that he bulked up to 200 pounds and he was too fat in the offseason. Hey, he can do what he wants. But he's trying to take credit for his transformation, of which he lost a significant amount of muscle. Like, why would you want to do that? Why would I want to do that? He really thinks I'm trying to steal his client to somehow say that that's the kind of coach that I am? That I try to over-diet people to get stringy at the show? To over-diet people, imagine if Will Tennyson, who started at 200 pounds, ended up competing at 143. Will was 177 pounds on stage. I reshared and talked about Will a number of times. I don't remember once talking about who his coach is. I have no idea. But notice the coach didn't get mad at me, didn't start writing on my wall saying, why aren't you saying that I'm the coach? I coached Will. Look how good I am. It's the athlete that's good, not the coach. Whenever I had an athlete do extremely well, I knew that that's because of the work that the athlete did, and it's the athlete's genetics. And do you know what really makes a good coach? Somebody who helps the client enjoy the journey. So many of you think that it's more important to win said competition than it is to have fun along the way. Do you know how many times I competed? 59. 59 times. Do you think I won all of them? Do you think it was only about winning? Urs was asked, what does your future look like for you in bodybuilding? He says, I think I have a chance to be the Mr. Olympia champion. You might laugh about it, but I think I can do it. And Jay Cutler wrote, of course he thinks he can win the Mr. Olympia title. If not, why would he even bother competing? I 100% disagree with this. If only the Mr. Olympia champions were to compete, hardly anyone would be competing. Most people never even will dream of setting foot on stage at Olympia. They just compete for fun. I competed for fun. Eventually, I wanted to turn pro, but I had no delusions. I didn't think I was going to win, but I wanted to enjoy the journey. I wanted to have fun. You're going to diet for 12 or 16 weeks. You better like it, because in comparison to 5 minutes on stage, if that's all it's about, it isn't worth it. I'm telling you right now, competing isn't worth it if the only thing you're thinking about is getting up on stage. It's the journey, not the destination. It may sound cliche, but trust me, I promise you, the journey is more important than destination. And so if your coach gets you to first place, you win. Perhaps he promotes performance-enhancing drugs. Double the doses, bro. Add in some more tren. I know you said you want to do it natural, but everyone else is doing it. Take more steroids. Take more fat burners. Do more. Do this. Do that. They get to the show, and as soon as the show is over, they binge, they eat as many calories as humanly possible, and they gain a significant amount of weight. This is not what it's about. I would much rather see the athlete come in third place, fourth place, whatever, and I say to them, hey, how was it? I loved it. I can't wait to do it again. Next year, I'm going to get even bigger and leaner than ever. That to me is a proper coach, not the one that got you to win, the one that got you to fall in love with the sport. And that is what I do. Make it easier than last time, more enjoyable. You're going to like your diet, not like it, love it. Forget chicken, broccoli, and rice. Why not have French toast pancakes? Why not have French toast? Wraps, pizza. Eat the foods that you want. I have so many amazing, delicious recipes, and don't let you people think that you need to eat a certain way in order to get shredded. Calories in, calories out. I'm telling you. And I'm going to get you to do cardio throughout the year. Not just to get ready for the show, year round. It's about your health. And what about performance-enhancing drugs? Well, I'm going to tell you to lose the lowest dose that makes you happy. Now, I can't convince everyone to not use them. But if they do want to use them, I'm going to make sure you're as healthy as humanly possible. Other coaches will try to convince you to hop on. You start off natural, and by the end of it, they've convinced you that you need it. When you diet, times are going to get tough, and you're going to want every secret in order to make it that much easier. And so please, please be careful. Do not judge a coach by the before and after transformation. The bigger the transformation, the more impressive it is, the more impossible it may seem, the more likely that person used performance-enhancing drugs. And so don't compare yourself to them. Just because you did not win doesn't mean it makes you a failure. It's about the journey. If you do your first competition, you don't need to compete at 5% body fat. You don't need to be the leanest person on stage. What you need to be is the person that enjoyed it the most. You need to love it. And does that mean show up at 25% body fat and be fat? No. It means somewhere in the middle, somewhere respectable, somewhere where you look the part, you feel the part, and there's room for improvement next year. Do not overdiet. Do not lose half of your muscle competing. Will Tennyson started at 200 pounds, ended at 177. Imagine if he had dieted down to, let's call it 160 and lost 17 pounds more. Perhaps his legs are peeled, striated quads everywhere, zippered glutes, and everyone's saying, I can't believe Will is that lean. This is the leanest natural bodybuilder of all time. Does that make for a better coach? All Will would have had to have done is be in another 1,000-calorie deficit for another month or two, and that would have happened. And you know what else would have happened? He would have lost half his muscle. And so he gets up on stage looking stringy but peeled. Is that a great coach? Oh, it's only going to take him 2 years to gain all that muscle back. And so is it really worth it? I would rather the coach say, look, you don't need to be that lean. Now, I am famous, world famous for getting athletes shredded, getting them peeled in show shape. But I also tell people every single day you can have an off meal plan. You don't need to follow the diet as strictly as people make it seem. Every day you can eat whatever you want, within reason. Every single day. I'm coaching people right now. One guy just got 5th in his WNBF natural bodybuilding competition as a pro. Another guy, he's 8 weeks out. Do you know what I said? He's added 500 calories every single day to his diet. And why? Because he's already lean enough. He's losing weight so quickly, I need to slow it down. And when I look at other athletes and they show me the amount of steroids that they're giving, males and females, and I'm thinking, do you really want to take this? Is it worth it? And so unless a woman says, you know what? I want my voice to get deeper and I really would like to shave in the future. Now, if that is part of their goals, then the coach, by all means, if you say to the athlete, look, I can get you in, but you will have permanent voice changes and you're going to have to shave. And they say, yep, let's do it. I'm on board. By all means, coach, go ahead. Coach did their job. But if you don't tell the athlete, warn them, say, look, this is what's going to happen, then it's on you. It's your fault. Athletes are being tricked into thinking, oh, you can take SARMs. There's no side effects. It's not actually steroids. You're not injecting. Oh, in Anavar, there's no side effects whatsoever. After all, you're a girl. I've done videos on this. They will outright lie, trying to get that woman their IPB Pro card or that championship victory because then they can show the before and after and get all the glory. I coached this woman. And you know what the woman is not going to do? She's not going to make a video and say, listen to me now, I'm David. She's not going to say that. She's embarrassed. And so she covers it up and hides. She's not going to make a post and say, this coach pushed so many SARMs and Anavar on me, and now I have my regrets. I'm perhaps quitting bodybuilding. I don't ever want to compete again. Look at my body. I now look like a man. They're not going to say, I binged in secret every single day. I didn't tell my instructor. I had no energy. I suffered and I hated it. They won't tell you that, but they'll tell me. And so when I coach athletes, I take all my 30 years of coaching experience and the fact I've done 59 competitions myself, and I use all of it to make you the best diet and training experience humanly possible. I want you to fall in love with the sport. How many people are 50 years of age and are still doing it? But rather than that, you hire males and females in their early 20s with hardly any experience, and all they do is put you on a very low-calorie diet, lots of steroids and cardio, and show the best before and after transformations. The people with the most transformations, the most amazing before and afters, they coach the most clients. If a coach has coached 1,000 clients and picks their best 10 before and afters and posts them on Instagram everywhere, what you're going to do is say, wow, this coach is amazing. But do you think the coach is showing their 100 worst transformations? The 500 people who dropped out? The 100 girls who are shaving? They don't show that. You will never know. And so people year after year, they keep hiring the same loser, horrible, awful coaches every single time. Because people care more about the before and after transformation than they do about the person. And so when you're looking for a coach, don't look at whoever has the most incredible before and after transformations. That's easy. If you have an amazing athlete, gifted, and they put their faith in you, you can't go wrong. How hard could it be? Take this, do that, and they win. You don't even have to try. But if you talk to the athlete themselves. How was it? Loved it. Great coach. Didn't push this on me. Listened to me, cared for me. Couldn't recommend them enough. That's the coach you want. I don't care if you got last place. I don't care. Did you enjoy it? Did you have fun? Would you hire them again? If the answer is no, you move on. If the answer is yes, that is the coach that you want. And so some key things to consider. You don't need to hire a coach year-round. You really don't. When you're in your off season, main gain. Get to a healthy body fat percentage. For men, 15% body fat, no more than that. For women, 25% body fat. No more than that. If they're trying to push 3,000 plus calories on you and you're a girl, or if you're a guy and they're trying to push you to eat more and more when you don't need to, it's a big red flag. Not saying to maintain single-digit body fat year-round. I'm saying a healthy body fat percentage. If they don't tell you to do any cardio year-round, like none, it's not healthy. Why would you want to hire a coach that doesn't want you to be healthy? When you're good at cardio, you're going to recover better between sets. You're going to be leaner year-round, and you're not going to have to diet as long. Like, if I did a show next year, of which I'm hoping to do, how many weeks do you think I really need to diet? Is it going to be a 16-week diet? Of course not. I'm at 8% body fat. How long could I need? 4 to 8 weeks. That's all I need. If you need more than 12 weeks, you probably are too heavy in your off season and you could benefit by not being as fat. And so you need them to be honest with you. You need the coach to say, look, this is not ideal. You can't lie to your clients. You have to be honest. Now, you can't completely blame Brandon Clark for all of this athlete's weight loss. 57 pounds, it's a lot. I mean, I would have thought 40 would have done it, but it's not Brandon's fault because he's not sponsored by HDLT supplements, and so he probably doesn't know about G-Test Platinum to keep testosterone levels higher. Remember, when you crash diet, your testosterone levels are going to go lower than last time. You're going to lose muscle. And he probably didn't tell his client to use Turk Builder Max as Will Tennyson was using, nor did he use GO2 Max, also Will Tenny was using. The best supplements in the world can, of course, make a difference, and this way better than creatine. If you had to pick one, could make way more difference. You can believe me, you cannot believe me. Remember, there's a money-back guarantee and a $20 gift card. I like to think that coaches are doing the best that they can. Most, I do think that they are. And if they don't have a degree in exercise physiology, kinesiology, that kind of thing, and if they haven't competed several times, not just one, but several, then they're not equipped to deal with every single problem that could be thrown at them. Remember, coaches, I do believe most of them are doing the best that they can. Some are just trying to get every last dollar from you. If they're trying to push you to use steroids and so on, they're trying to just care more about the before and after transformation than anything else. And so those you got to be careful of. But I do think that most coaches are doing the best they can. Now, if you're interested in having Coach Greg as your coach, apply by clicking the link in the description. Remember, HDLT supplements, for example, the CICO bars, if you use code CICO, C-I-C-O, this is 50% off. It's only $20 for 12 bars, 21 grams of protein, 230 calories. Softest bars you're ever going to eat. So delicious. And so if you're interested, go to the website. Now, if you're interested in getting, for example, enclomiphene or Cialis or semaglutides, for example, Ozempic or Tirzepatide, you can get prescribed these medications, prescription from AlgoRx. You quickly fill out a form. It's like a couple minutes. And they have prescription pharmaceutical medications prescribed to you legally. It's not some backyard alley thing. They are 100% legit prescription pharmaceutical medications by doctors. And so if you need to see your blood work to see if you're healthy, maybe you're not healthy, you might need telmisartan for high blood pressure and so on. Please go to AlgoRx, click the link in the description. And I'm not only sponsored by them, I'm literally an equity owner in the company. And so trust me, they have lower prices than last time. If you compare them to Merrick Health, I suggest that you do. Please go to Merrick Health, ask for how much it's going to cost, and then compare it to AlgoRx. And then when you see it's about half price, you're going to think, thank God I watched that video. Thank God I listened to Coach Greg, because I would have spent double the money on the exact same thing. And hopefully this helped. Remember, it's about the journey and not just the destination. So many people are caught up in the finish line, what you do on show day. There's so much more to it than just that day. If you're dieting for 12 weeks, the show day, of course, it's important, but everything that takes place from the start to the finish, also equally important. And so please don't forget that. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm. Please like the video if you liked it. Watch one of those 2 bloops. Don't forget about getting Blue Lobstered. Remember the Blue Lobster? We have these. You can get Blue Lobster, you can get Janeki's Juice and Hussein's Mode. Get to the website, code Greg 15% off. And until next time, I am out.